Hello and welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I'm Professor Abha Sharma, and again I have started a new series on the important questions which may be asked in your forthcoming UGC-NET or JRF exam English literature. See, I've done a lot of such videos before also, so do go and watch so that you get a lot of questions to practice. I have solved the question papers of previous year's NET exam also. I have made videos on literary theories. I have made videos on different literatures like American, African, Canadian. I have also done critical appreciation of many poems. I have made some animated videos. So it is for you people to take the advantage of my hard work and watch them as much as you can so that you can be successful in all your endeavors. Question number 1. Modernism is characterized by a self-conscious break with traditional styles of poetry and verse. Modernists experimented with literary form and expression, adhering to the maxim to make it new. Whose maxim is make it new? Ezra Pound. Question number 2. It is set in Jefferson, Mississippi. The novel centers on the Compson family, former Southern aristocrats who are struggling to deal with the dissolution of their family and its reputation. Over the course of the 30 years or so related in the novel, the family falls into financial ruin, loses its religious faith and the respect of the town of Jefferson, and many of them die tragically. It is a novel written by the American author. It employs a number of narrative styles, including stream of consciousness. It was published in 1929. The Sound and the Fury, written by William Faulkner. Question number 3. Born in Portsmouth, he left school to work in a factory when his father was taken into a debtor's prison. Despite his lack of formal education, he edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, hundreds of short stories and non-fiction articles, lectured and performed readings extensively, was an enthusiastic letter writer, and campaigned vigorously for children's rights, education, and other social reforms. Name the author. He is none other than Charles Dickens. Question number 4. The modern theatre is the epic theatre. The principle, a variety of montage means editing and reforming and all, proposed by passing the great struggle for supremacy between words, music, and production. Living in Munich during the Weimar Republic, he had his first successes with theatre plays, whose themes were often influenced by his Marxist thought. He was the main proponent of the genre named epic theatre, which he preferred to call dialectical theatre. During the Nazi period and World War II, he lived in exile, first in Scandinavia and then in the United States. Name the author. Bertolt Brecht. Question number 5. Music and poetry is his delight. Therefore, I'll have Italian Mass by night. sweet speeches, comedies, and pleasing shows. And in the day when he shall walk abroad, like sylvan nymphs my pages shall be clad, my men, like satyrs grazing on the lawns, shall with their goat feet dance an antic hay. Name the play and the playwright of these lines. Yes, Marlowe's Edward II. Question number 6. It was a modernist movement initially in poetry and painting originating in Germany at the beginning of the 20th century. Its typical trait is to present the world solely from a subjective perspective, distorting it radically for emotional effect in order to evoke moods or ideas. The artist sought to express the meaning of emotional experience rather than physical reality. It was developed as an avant garde style before the First World War. It remained popular during the Weimar Republic, particularly in Berlin. Which movement is it? This is Expressionism. Important precursors of Expressionism were the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, especially his philosophical novel Thus Spoke Zarathustra. I don't know about the German pronunciation, of course, so you can just read words here. Question number 7. This is a 1908 novel by English writer E.M. Forster about a young woman in the restrained culture of Edwardian era England. Set in Italy and England, the story is both a romance and a critique of English society at the beginning of the 20th century. Merchant Ivory produced an award-winning film adaptation in 1985. Name the novel. I've even seen this movie. A Room with a View. During my school days, I think, or college days, I'd even seen his other movies, Heat and Dust, based on the book written by Ruth Pawar Jhabawala. Question number 8. She was a prominent New Zealand modernist short story writer who was born and brought up in colonial New Zealand and wrote under the pen name. At 19, she left New Zealand and settled in the United Kingdom, where she became a friend of writers such as D.H. Lawrence and Virginia Woolf. In 1917, she was diagnosed with extrapulmonary tuberculosis, which led to her death at age 34. A Cup of Tea, a 1922 short story, first published in The Storyteller in May 1922. Name the writer. Catherine Mansfield. I think you all must have read the short story A Cup of Tea in your bachelor's, I think. Question number 9. He was a Chilean poet, diplomat, and politician. He became known as a poet when he was just 13 years of age and wrote in a variety of styles, including surrealist poems, historical epics, overtly political manifestos, a prose autobiography, and passionate love poems, such as the ones in his collection 20 Love Poems and a Song of Despair, 1924. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. Pablo Neruda. An early example of linguistic ambiguity and indeterminacy, Conrad's tale of the corrupt imperialism that upholds civilized culture is constructed through a nested, layered narrative, and features some of the most cryptic language ever written. Example, it was the stillness of an implacable force brooding over an inscrutable intention. Things becomes increasingly surreal as Marlowe approaches the mysterious curts. If you think Marlon Brando's the horror is chilling. Wait until you reach the 1-2 punch of Conrad's conclusion. It is Heart of Darkness. Joseph Conrad's very famous Heart of Darkness. All these questions which I have chosen here are not to test your knowledge, but to give you the factual information about literature. You may get any question out of anywhere, but maybe listening to this, watching and writing down in your notes copy will help you to find out the right answer when the questions around are given. So please watch all the videos very carefully. I've already done more than 200 videos here on this channel. So if you watch them judiciously, as I told you before also, then there are very strong chances of you to crack this prestigious exam of UGC-NET or JRF. So please listen to my advice, go through all the videos one by one, topic by topic, and let me know in the comment box below that how you're taking these videos, how you're liking them, what else do you want from me. Do like and comment underneath the video in order to encourage me to do more and more for you. Take care till I come with the next video. Bye-bye.